February 26, 2023. Told you last night I was in Olive Garden in Belton Village. Some guy comes in, sits down real hard. He's like, "Well, our phones have been blowed up all day long. Of one on earth, it was a serial rapist in her home before, and it was him doing it to her." Huh? And what's going on and on. Then talking about that agent taking my money. Okay? Take my client, go over to Mark's across the street. Some guy's on the phone. We all know none of this is funny. Will didn't have the authority to ask her to stay quiet. Okay? Okay. I go in Target in Belden. And some lady's like, we found a tape of her ex-husband admitting they made fun of her before and made up stories on her. Okay? And that none of it was funny. It was dirty stuff. Okay? Go to walk out to leave. There's two strippers, prostitutes. They stand out like people in Halloween costumes. Normal people don't dress that way. Like they said, everybody can see them around me because they stand out. Okay? And they're like, even Will knew Michelle was a stripper. Of course he did. Of course he did. Okay? I go to get my client out in the car. Some guys, because my phone's tapped, said, "I've been listening to all that. People were saying stuff to her." None of this is funny. I know they were. Okay? Okay? Now, I want you to think about it. You can't even feel sorry. Okay. I called up FBI hotline. I tell them I have these people nailed. I have 4 attempts on my life, 2 by the documented by the Perry police. I have 2 witnesses for the other one. Okay. I have somebody impersonating me, cost me a job, and 2 witnesses thereof. Okay. And then they were telling 3 people in the mall had been them trying to kill me. I have them nailed. Then they drug me up so bad that I can't get out of bed for 3 days. And then the 3rd day I'm sitting on the front porch holding my head, what's wrong with me? I feel drunk and I don't drink. I Googled it. It's a sign of being roofied wearing off. It makes you sick when it wears off. The amnesia drugs. Okay. I get up, I get enough air in my face. I call one of my witnesses. They said they'd testify for me, where that agent had left a voicemail in my phone. I put that agent's number in and drop it off in a car before we go to church. We go up to Apostolic Church of Bremerton. Paul Pamer got in Dave's face. My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off. 2 women walk up. He said he knows she's being drugged, being raped, and he said he didn't care. All right, my stomach sinks in. My heart sinks into my stomach. I had lost over 18 pounds before I called the FBI. I had bruises, throwing up, heart racing, and a severe personal infection and a migraine headache. I've been seen by Altman family physicians all summer long for all the signs of being drugged, being raped, but because I never seen anybody, nobody put it together that sexual predators were raping me and beating me. Okay? When I told them, when I found out that's what's going on, they looked at me and said, "Your ex-husband's a vile, sick animal." Okay? Well, I go in and I sit down in the sanctuary. Those ladies follow me in, and they say it again. He knows she's being drugged, being raped, and he said he didn't care. If she was going to be faking she was sick and faking she got well before, while that family was grieving, he said he didn't care what happened to her. And he was going to turn her back over to him. Okay? Can you imagine an agent saying that? Dave comes in, let's go, and we get out in the truck, and he's punching me at the truck, and I run from him when I get home. Next morning, on a recorded line, I tell that agent that someone told him. He calls me a liar. It was Dave told Danny he talked to him at that church. He told 300 to 500 people that I called the FBI before he even talked to me. That's only at Apostolic Church of Barberton. I work up in Akron, and off that street, people said we went up to that church, and he told everybody he knew she was being drugged, being raped, and didn't care. None of this is funny. That agent was telling people that. Okay? I tell him somebody told him. He calls me a liar. Okay. I tell him about the guy that threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle. He calls me a liar. Was there a camera by the bench? I don't know. He said, oh, come on. I know what's going on. And I said, well, he tried to kidnap me before. Terry seen him let me tape her with her permission. He had dismembered my co-worker Lori's family member and went on to take my house manager's niece. He's part of the Florida Human Traffickers. That's who was after me. I told him, I said, well, he tried to kidnap me before. He's like, oh, come on now. He said, even if a church person seen them, they would never testify that they seen him. Terry did. Let me tape her with her permission. That's why I didn't tell him about Terry. I'm like, what? He said, I know what's going on. You were faking you were sick before while that family was grieving, and that's why they're trying to kill you. And I don't blame him. I'm like, what? I said I really was sick. He's like, was there a camera above that bench or not? I don't know. He's like, you either say you're lying or I'll arrest you. I'm like, what? He said, I said, you either say you're lying or I'll put you in jail. I'm like, fine, whatever. We're on a recorded line. They sold it, by the way. Like they said, the FBI made fun of her for being drug beat and raped. Her FBI made fun of her for being human trafficked. And they were giving her amnesia drugs and she didn't know what was happening to her. And they need to take care of those two idiots for making fun of her. He's like, now I want you to say you were faking you were sick. I really was sick before. I had 6 to 10. And he's like, you liar. I've talked to those church people. I've had that family that lost their kid. Now, I want you to explain about this. 2003, and we're 2018 now. 2003. Now, I had 6 to 10 surgeries. My muscles locked up in a 2.5-year span. Went to the wrong doctors afterwards, falsely diagnosed me across the board, was ripping my insurance off, giving me big prescriptions, getting kickbacks from the drug companies. I swelled up 150 pounds in a year. My heart got off, my thyroid quit working, my adrenal gland quit working, and my brain was swelling, and they lied. I had brain tumors, and they wanted to put a bag on my side. They were all lying, ripping off my insurance, and it took another doctor to tell me it was a medication making me sick, and it took another one to confirm it, and then 9 months of learning to walk again. And as soon as I got off that medication, everything started working, and the swelling started leaving. I almost died from medical malpractice and medication errors. Okay? They encouraged Dave and I to sue him for 2 years. Now, I tell that agent I really was sick. Now, I got well 2 months after a traffic accident I had nothing to do with. I was at home. I've been working with Dr. Eli for 7 months, and it took me 9 months to get well. And in the middle of it, somebody that went to my church, drama queens, rich drama baby mama kings. Her father is speeding so fast with their kid in the car, had to be doing way over 60 on a back road. Runs a stop sign into a semi and kills them both. Explodes the vehicle. He's going so fast. He's in pieces, and the kid gets ejected. Everybody felt bad for him. But like they said, they have to live with the shame that our father killed her kid. Okay? I had nothing to do with it. Brian had to show up and tell us. I was almost well in April. I had started working with Eli in November. I was already driving my own car, practicing walking on numb feet, falling all the time, doing my own grocery shopping, everything. Okay? As soon as I got off the medication, I started getting well right away. It took me 9 months to learn to walk again. I had to pull myself up and down streets, malls, everywhere. Okay? I had nothing to do with it. That was May 3rd, 2003. I was almost well. Finished getting well in July, still fell for 2 more months, and took me 4 months to get off the fentanyl patches. Strange made up that lie in November when he thought I caught his son committing adultery with Katie. And it was my sister. He just made up a shitty lie and got rid of me. Now, they're telling everybody because he said, oh, she was faking through that. It was a 4-year ordeal. I talked to a criminal attorney. You can't fake that shit. No, you can't. I have an MRI report showing the swelling, blood work showing everything shutting down. I have scars all over me. And the fentanyl patches, they don't give fentanyl to fakers. They give it the last part of cancer. Like the doctor said, I have to get you out enough pain to move those locked muscles. And once you move the locked muscles, blood flow will get back in, then we can build muscle tissue. And then you'll be fine. It's the medication making you sick. Get off of it, you'll be fine. It was very much right. Okay? It took me 9 months to get well. Strange made up a shitty lie. Now, their father killed their kid. I'm at home. Just go to their church. Nothing to do with it. He makes up a shitty lie in November, 6 months later. Okay? Oh, she was faking through the last 4 years. Yeah, right. Takes a retard to believe that one. And the drama queens, that her father was speeding and killed their kid. We were grieving. We were getting all the attention. He said she was faking through that. Kill her! We waited 15 years. We have hate built up in our heart. We want to kill her. Psychos? Psychos? I didn't even go to the church. But think of the drama, messed up psychopath, psychiatric disorders in their head of wanting to kill somebody who had nothing to do with her kid's death. But somebody just made up a shitty lie on her. But we got to kill her 15 years later. We had hate in our heart. She was faking through that. We were grieving. We were getting all the attention. And it was all about us. And it was 6 months later. And somebody said she faked through that. So we're going to kill her for it. Like they said, they made up a reason to kill me. They made up a reason. They made up a reason to kill me. Nobody can even fall for that. You can't even feel sorry for those sick bastards. Like people said, that idiot killed that kid. She had to work her ass off to get well. How dare those people say something to her? Had nothing to do with it. Like my one neighbor, that's insanity to even think that somebody should be able to hurt you because somebody said something about you. That's insanity. Now, that agent said, I want you to say you're faking you're sick. I really was sick. He's like, I had that family in my office that lost their kid, the drama queens, that are making up stuff just to kill people, that her father killed her kid, I had nothing to do with. Those people, the church people, you need to realize what you've done with you faking you were sick. I don't blame him for trying to kill you. He says it on the recorded line. I said, I really was sick. He said, now you either say you're faking you're sick or I'll leave you there. I said, I really was sick. You either say you're faking you're sick or I'll leave you there. And I said, they'll kill me. So you better say it. Please don't let them kill me. Then you say it or I'll leave you there. I said, but they'll kill me. You either say it or I'll leave you there. It's like, fine, just don't let them kill me. Why would that be? I help a person like you. Well, they're going to try to kill me. So they've tried to kill me. So now he's just confessed he had the church people in the Vegas in his office. He also met up and told 300 to 500 people that I called the FBI before he talked to me. Okay? Now he tells me, why would we help you? And I'm telling about my brother-in-law, Craig, that worked at the Pentagon under Dick Cheney. Well, I could take it, well, before I could say anything else, the other agent yells out, well, we could use Pete's tape of Weird With Yourself, the shower scene or the feminine wipey in the other room, in the bathroom where I'm washing, where they claimed that in 21. And then in January 19, they said it was a feminine wipey above the toilet. They photoshopped that. They said they found a tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room, May 12th, 22, and May 26th, 22. The shower scene was done on purpose to make you look weird. Got a whole list of being framed March 24th, 22, to edit the local apartment, December 9th, 21, 4 p.m. Everything was drugged and photoshopped. It's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. Same day, white man bald with dark eyes distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street. Worked the case. They always knew everything was drugged and photoshopped. They all talked to Canton investigators and other ones. Then my client in Navarre in March of 22, even a lady from the FBI building, they had told her that Pete ordered everything to be drugged and photoshopped and made up on me. And she talked to them and other people. Okay, and the police have already taped them drugging me and telling me to say it before from the beginning of the case. And that they photoshopped everything from 18 and 19. And then that they photoshopped the feminine wipey in 19. And then the shower scene in 21. And then they found tapes of them emitting it. And that they framed me. And it was done by the drug cartel. It wasn't retired Judge Pete. It was Alex, the white-haired guy with his hair parted on his side and a beard. And Michelle was not his daughter. She's just a stripper, which is his sister. Pulling a big sex extortion scam. They had somebody, I found out, impersonate a doctor from Altman Hospital. It was no doctor. It was just the biggest scam in the world. He said, stop. When I told him, what are you talking about? He yelled something out about Pete again. I've never talked to Pete. The only Pete I knew was my brother in Medina. I said, what is he talking about? He said, stop. She don't know. If you don't know about him, I bet you don't know about this doctor that with information. I said, what are you talking about? It's a man impersonating a doctor. And he's laughing at me. And he said, give me a real reason. Well, I tell him about my brother-in-law, Craig. He offers to take me somewhere and leave me with no money. Then he offers me the informant program of the $5,000 a month. Now, he's already admitted he talked to everybody. I could take you somewhere and leave you. Then he offers me the informant program of $5,000 a month, immunity for life, even when you tell. Then if you try to tell someone else, you're crazy and no one can help you. Like they said last night, and Mark's Will didn't have enough authority to ask her to stay quiet. None of this is funny. I talked to a criminal attorney of the Stark County Prosecutor's Office and police departments. Due to the freedom of speech, it's not in the court order where they've been lying to people. He didn't have the authority to ask me to stay quiet one day. Why would you stay quiet when everybody else already knows anyways that he's only a police officer? It takes a sitting judge and a sequestered or grand jury to ask you to stay quiet and then put a gag order on you. He's only a higher police officer. He does not have that kind of authority. The real law is if a doctor sells your information or shares it, unless they have a written consent to talk to him, it is a 10-year sentence for HIPAA violations being broke, and they get a $250,000 fine. And if you impersonate a doctor, it's 1 to 10. And the retired Judge Pete, he knew it wasn't retired Judge Pete. All he would have done is Google him. He would have been 75, 80 years old, and he didn't have a daughter named Michelle. He knew it was a stripper and her brother scamming him. They came up with the stupidest scam in the world. Like a retired judge would be above the law. I told Officer Reinhardt about their scam. He crossed his arms. He giggled like a little girl. I don't care what they say they got. I don't care what they say they did. Until that agent agreed to protect you and had statements of the threat of life. Even the FBI would go to jail for being in your home, and they can't even look at it. Okay? December 30th, 23, I'm in an emergency room with my client. The nurses are talking. No one's allowed to talk to these people. My God, they even said they were a doctor from Altman Hospital selling people's information. And it was just some guy impersonating him. And no one's to ever back those doctors for the medication errors that they did to her. My God, they were all lying so bad that they even said she had brain tumors. And there was nothing wrong with her. No one's to ever back that. The cops outside my room, all those doctors were lying on her before. He said, yes, it was medication errors that made her sick. None of this is funny. Okay? People yesterday in Faith Family Church, they looked it up. That girl was not even a judge's daughter. She was scamming everybody here. No one's to say a word to her. They didn't even chip her. Where the attempted murder on 12/21/18, if they want a video of the person that actually tried to kill me, it's a white-haired guy with his hair part on the side, medium gray truck, in the human traffickers in Florida, from Florida. He's in my house. He admitted January 4th, 19. He left his comb on Dave's dresser. I'm stabbed in the neck and I'm bashed in the back of the head. It feels like a ball peen hammer in the base of my head. I actually am dead in it. I'm lucky I'm to be alive. He had drug beat, raped me, and left me for dead. He admitted he was the one holding me down. John seen him stalk me, Darlene, and Dixie. It's just him in a beard. Impersonating retired Judge Pete. Like they said, they asked that family. They blamed everything on. They didn't know anything. Well, retired Judge Pete's like 75, 80 or more. He wouldn't have an 18-year-old daughter. He'd have an 18-year-old great-granddaughter. Okay? It's not even him. It's that stripper and her brother. Judge Timothy Ludick seen him in that disguise on 9/18/19 outside my room. They're joking around. For you had us look into it. You knew she couldn't handle it. You knew she appreciated us doing it. And you could find she did nothing wrong. This guy walks by in a Santa Claus beard in a robe. And I thought, you look like that guy that said he bashed my head in. That Alex, they call him. He said, and Judge Timothy Ludick comes in. We're ready to begin. And he's laughing. Well, there was a picture on the wall of Peter something. Looked like a Santa Claus, too. They asked Judge Timothy Ludick. They didn't know. He didn't know what he was doing or who he was. He was laughing around about him, joking around like that. That would have made him an accessory. I found out through the investigators they were getting in the back of places telling people they were there to protect me. He seen him in that Santa Claus outfit. May to July of 19, I'm at Louisville gas station, not gas station, but laundromat. The gray truck slams on the brake. Hey, Alex. Hey, Alex. There she is. He said, my girlfriend's got a nice ass. It's great having a girlfriend you don't have to do anything for. I didn't even know his name. He was just a man showing up, admitting that he was drugging and raping me under drugs. He's a human trafficker. He's impersonating a retired judge from that county, just putting a Santa Claus beard on. And that stripper, Michelle's a stripper, and they're impersonating a retired judge's family. Like they said, the damn bastards that did this even framed a Portage County judge. Now, their scam is so outrageous, nobody could fall for it. It's a big sextortion scheme. I'm going to upload this.